many times have you been bowling in league or a tournament, think you've thrown a great shot that suddenly goes high and you didn't expect it? The most experienced players that are the most successful anticipate these lane changes and are able to move before they actually happen. We're going to use some of the most state-of-the-art equipment available to us to explain how and why lanes change.
Okay, we're now on the International Training Center's research side in front of Earl, which with ball motion study analysis was done. And it helps us get into what we're talking about now is lane patterns. Lane patterns, they put the oil, it's an invisible playing field, but it's constantly changing.
It is constantly changing, and one of the major factors is simply because of the balls are going down the lane, and today's balls, what they're made of, a much duller surface, tend to almost act like a sponge, and they attract more oil, actually soak it up, and the lane will read as if there's much more friction as the balls go down the lane more and more throughout your match.
So what are some adjustments that we can be doing?
Well, a lot of times when the lanes change, it has very much to do with the surface of the ball that the player's using. If they're using a pretty aggressive ball, something that will absorb lots of oil, that will pick up the oil, they're going to dry out much quicker, and you'll see much of a change in reaction.
Yeah, a lot of bowlers, the lanes change gradually, but they all of a sudden say, oh the lanes transition. It's because they missed it. It's always constantly changing. We always want to be aware of what our ball is doing. We want to make our adjustments to the break point. Our break point is pretty much going to stay the same place. How we get to that break point is going to be changing.
Very differently, yes, and you can do that with release, you can do that with surface of the bowling ball. So all sorts of ways that you can change your angle in the way the ball gets to that break point, but we do want to control that spot.
Yeah, so if the shape looks good and it's just the ball starting to come up a little bit high, then we want to make like what we call a diagonal change of 2 and 1, which will get the ball to the same place at the break point down the pins. It just changes our angles to the front.
Right, it'll accommodate that early hook that you'll see as the lanes change by moving a little bit more into more head oil, which will give the ball a little bit more push, a smoother surface to play on.
And when you're on tournament conditions, when you're usable in these house conditions, sometimes we don't want to do these 2 and 1s because the shape looks really good. We want to do what we call parallel moves then, which are like a 1 and 1 or a 2 and 2, because we just want to change where the ball finishes.
Right, so you're moving, for example, 2 and 2 would be 2 with your feet and 2 with your eyes in either direction.
So you want to kind of look at the shape of the shot. If the shape of the shot looks good, it just ended up in the wrong place, we want to make a parallel move. If it looks like it's too much angle or not enough angle on the back end, then we want to make a diagonal move. And you just want to change where the ball is going to finish.
Right, and oftentimes league bowlers make too many what we call abstract moves, and they're moving their feet only or their target only, and that really will change both the shape and the break point.
And then they end up getting lost, and they end up getting split, and then we have 3 or 4 holes in the game, and all of a sudden that 200 or that 190 game ends up being that 160, 150.
Right.